Hey everyone, it's the Geeky Gamer. 2025 has been a great year, hasn't it? This is fine. Okay, so this year has been one thing after another. And a lot of it... Look, I try to keep politics off the channel, but I can't wait until midterms so we can hopefully try to start fixing this ludicrous mess in the US. Anyway, with another year over and the new one not quite begun, unless you're watching this after New Year's, hello future people, it's time to take a look back at 2025 and everything I did on the channel. And we're not doing a highlight reel like last year, especially since I made over twice as many videos this year. 19 videos last year, over 40 this year, plus 3 live streams and 2 shorts. Without further ado, let's rewind back to the start. January started with a bit of a break. A lot of YouTubers take breaks at the start of January because the ad revenue drops off hard after being high during the Christmas season, but I didn't have that to worry about yet. I was just playing Sonic games and squirrel the gun. My first video of the year was taking a look at New Day, a spiritual successor to Tomodachi Life made by Scrapbook Studios. It caught the attention of the developers and did better than most of my other videos. Guess I grabbed the Tomodachi crowd. New Day got an update that week, so I did another video. Then there was the first character update for Rivals of Aether 2, adding Edalus, so I started trying to making videos for each of those updates. And really only playing the game when making those. I fell out of Rivals 2 hard ever since it came out, just haven't had the time or motivation for it. I had one more New Day video in the month, and that rounded out January. February was really light on content, but that's partly because I was working on my first ever challenge video. Although it was taking a while, so to get some more content out there, I whipped up a quick first Gmod animation, an SMG4 take on Who Broke It, which kickstarted my Gmod animation career, which only had 5 animations this year. But then, I was finally done with the challenge video, beating a Hat in Time as Mustache Girl. And in hindsight, I should have checked beforehand to see if anyone else had done that challenge, but I did credit someone who did and pointed out that my run was different. I'm still really happy with how I wove a little story in that challenge. After a light February, March was the most content-heavy month of the whole year. Starting with some gameplay of the Among Us 3D demo, which was fun, but then I didn't get around to buying the game. I'll probably grab it before it goes off sale. My college went on spring break, so I took the chance to try some live streaming. First I did a stream of random stuff, which I got 3 highlight videos out of, since I played New Day and Rivals 2. Then I did 2 streams replaying the first 2 chapters of Deltarune, to prepare for chapters 3 and 4 coming later in the year. I also started doing some YouTube shorts, first an introductory one, then a conversion of Who Broke It into short form. I might have done more, but by the time I had ideas for more, YouTube was doing AI upscaling on shorts, so I didn't make any more so they wouldn't get affected. During the whole month, I was also working on the second part of the challenge to complete A Hat in Time as Mustache Girl, which continued the story I was telling throughout it and wrapped it up nicely. April started with an April Fool's joke about a Minecraft movie being humanity's greatest achievement. That one was fun to do. My takes gradually get more and more absurd before it goes entirely off the rails, and I installed Vocaloid Studio and some Hatsune Miku voice banks just for the Miku part of the joke. Then we got the Olympia update in Rivals 2. Unfortunately, I wasn't feeling up to recording audio, so it just had text. After seeing a Minecraft movie, I did an actual review on it. I liked it, it was stupid but fun. Squirrel with a Gun got its Gravity Gun update, so it got its first dedicated video on the channel. May came in swinging with SMG4 and the one thing you can't replace. Still my second favorite of the animations I did. Just a week later, I put out a beginner's guide for Tower Unite due to the 1.0 release, going over pretty much everything you need to know. I did see a comment on the video somewhat recently asking for an updated guide, but I don't think I'll do one. Not enough has changed to warrant it, and not enough has been added that can't be easily figured out. It's mostly the pet stuff. I'm still proud that the lead developer left a comment when I shared the video to the Tower Unite subreddit. Then there was my video about rejected Minecraft suggestions. I didn't expect this one to do super crazy. I thought it might bring in some more views than normal because it's Minecraft discussion, but holy crap! It became my new most viewed video in less than 2 weeks, then just kept climbing, hitting over 100,000 views in just over 2 months. I really hope I can make something else that can claim the top spot someday, but it'll have to get over 127k to do so. And then I ended the month with another animation. Bob orders a burger at SMG3's Coffee and Bombs. Still sad this one has such poor performance. But right around the end of this month, I hit 500 subscribers. At the start of June, I was busy with the new chapters of Deltarune, which I had planned to stream, but I wouldn't be able to stream until the evening when someone else needed the bandwidth more. I still recorded my playthrough, but you'll probably never see it, besides the clips I put in one of my videos this year. I got a video out about Squirrel the Gun's Pride DLC, but unfortunately my microphone didn't work, so all my commentary was lost and I had to use subtitles instead. For the 1 year anniversary of my first video, I upgraded to a new mic, announced channel memberships since I'd hit 500 subs, and introduced new branding artwork. Oh yeah, channel memberships, nobody's paid for those so far. I know there's no exclusive videos or anything, but you'll get emojis and a member badge, plus priority reply to your comments, and it's only $1 a month. I even made it low in hopes of getting more people willing to pay a small amount, instead of only a few people willing to pay more. Ah well, it's there if anyone wants to support me. July started with the ABSA update, same deal as usual for the Rivals 2 updates. But then, I finally completed my LEGO Dimensions collection, so I made a video about it and how I was preparing to start 100%ing the game. Funnily enough, I spotted a clip from this video in a video from Rugged Eagle.
Requiring you to take out a full-on mortgage to be able to have them all.
I did a double take seeing that the first time, and it's still a bit surreal to know that a YouTuber so much bigger than me has seen my content and used a clip in their video. Though I would have appreciated a bit of credit in the description or something, especially after I dropped a comment. I had a plan for my next big animation, but to fill the gap, I dropped possibly my laziest video of the year, a tour of my Tower Unite condo. Not too proud of this one, though I do still chuckle a bit at the random Scott the Woz clip introducing the bathroom. Then I had my biggest animation, Chris and Susie's weird route across the multiverse. This one might be my favorite video of the year. It's creative, it's pretty well made, it's unique, I love it so much. Then, right at the end of the month, I hit 1,000 subscribers, finally enabling ad revenue. I've made a decent amount so far, but absolutely not enough to make this my full-time job. That won't be able to happen for a while. In August, I had a chance to react to Galvin's reveal for Rivals 2 at EVO. That was cool to see due to him being a new character. I then did a late discussion about SMG4's Guns and Puzzles arc, returning to that style of video for the first time since just after WotF 2024. Unfortunately, a lot of my theorizing stuff went to waste since they really rushed the WotF 2025 story, probably due to the end of the series. August didn't really have high effort content since I was working on 100%ing LEGO Dimensions. I did do a video on the Confessions update for New Day, but unfortunately that session just about killed my interest in the game, all because of a bug that caused practically nothing to happen, and you can hear how dead I sounded playing it. It's a good game and they did fix the bug, but I didn't want to play it anymore after that. I've left the door open if anyone else wants to make content on it. It's free after all. Luckily, I completed Dimensions just before the end of the month and put together a Lord Vortex compilation, which did way better than I ever expected. September was really light. I originally wanted to do a big video project right near the start, but that plan fell through, so I didn't have anything until Undertale's 10th anniversary. To celebrate, I finally played through the Genocide route again, determined to finally defeat Sans, and I did. One of my proudest moments as a gamer. I also put together a great musical edit, which I put into its own video so it wouldn't get lost at the end of an hour-long video. Then after that anniversary, I was working on a video for another anniversary to celebrate 10 years of LEGO Dimensions, with a short retrospective look back on the game, deeming it a masterpiece. October had some good stuff, but started with one last Rivals 2 update video on Galvin. Then I was working hard on a real curveball for the channel, designing green costumes for every fighter in Smash Ultimate. Though it's not as much of a curveball if you just see it as another video idea I stole from PGiggles, after the video on alternate taunts for Rivals 1 last year. I'm really proud of my image editing for all the green costumes. Then I had one absolute last-minute theory video before SMG4's WotF 2025. I'm pretty proud of some of the things I got right with the returning past villains, especially Evil Pre-redesigned SMG3, though I really thought One Shot Ren would be there and that there'd be more focus on the overall puzzles saga. Even considering this was the last WotF and they wanted to focus on the heavy hitters, Ren would have been really cool to bring back. He was the villain of one of the best movies they ever did. I was in a real funk after they announced that SMG4 was ending, but I powered through that to finally make a Halloween special I wanted to do last year, reading my old spooky stories and creepypastas. Yeah, they suck, but it was a fun look back. Unfortunately, November was a bit lazier. I started doing commentaries on my Gmod animations, which didn't take much effort, but it was fun to point out the details and explain my techniques and creative process. I had planned to do a video trying to piece together Deltarune's story based only on what you can't skip, but I thought that was stupid, and I noticed a lot of things during that playthrough, so I got a good random facts video out of it, and that actually did really well. Finally, December. Starting with the last two commentaries, but then I wanted to lock in on one last big project for the year. I had a lot of procrastination issues, but I finally finished a video essay I had been wanting to do since before I even started the channel, a queer analysis of Tari. It is probably for the best that it took me until late this year to make it, since I had more time to develop my analysis further, but I'm not happy with how long it took me to actually produce it because of how long it took me to rewatch Metarunner, and then the video wasn't edited very well visually. Still, it's out there now. And then, SMG4 came to an end. A bit after the finale, I made my tribute and farewell. I had some problems with the last months of the series, but overall, I think they ended it pretty well. I'm not going to do a separate commentary video on the animation, so here's a quick commentary explaining a few ideas and tricks. It wasn't supposed to be as much of a slideshow, but I didn't have enough time. I was also hoping to use the official Showgrounds map, but it hasn't been released yet, so I used the fan-made one. The parts in SMG4's office can kinda go in between the shots from the end of the finale, between him shutting off his computer and hanging his cap up, and after closing the door. I did the long camera zoom out by just walking backwards with the camera. This whole scene is partly inspired by the final scene of Batman the Brave and the Bold, where a ton of the heroes and villains from across the series, even the dead ones, gathered for a rap party in the Batcave set as it was being disassembled. So I did the same thing with the cast of SMG4 and the SMG4 castle. One Shot Ren and the Team Killer Inc. leader get scared by Fuego because of water. Clench decides to speak up, which causes Tari to drop her switch. Both she and Belle get mad at Clench. Deserved. Depresso is just facing the wall because this is a fan-made model that isn't very accurate. Melanie and Axel finally reunite, and Melanie's dad is in the background, happy for his daughter. I made sure to include Wizard Rock right by the door that turns out he was behind. Shroomies hanging with his grandpa Wheeler. Then he gets a shotgun from Uncle Doom Guy and Isabel, and he goes anti-Shroomy. Monitor and the Death Cube are joined by one of the Stop Right There cops. Chica bites Marty's pizza. I normally wouldn't use FNAF stuff, but I can't deny it's part in SMG4's history. Sonic's talking with the guards because of his marriage to Swag, and the Chomp bites Eggman because he's friends with Sonic now. Waluigi uses his rejection powers to torture Francis. Master Hand approves. Karen gives Weapons a nod of approval since she got his letter in WotF 2025 and knows he's changed at least a bit for the better. Miyamoto leaves because he's stepping away from working on Mario games. Player Kong and the Nintendo Ninjas salute him as he leaves. Susan Wojcicki watches from above since she sadly passed away from cancer last year. And with the series over, character truly passes on. Hubert Dubert arrives to bring SMG4 to Glitch, as signified by N and Pomni poking their heads in. And also the Glitch logo on Hubert's jacket. One last group hug, one last huge group shot. SMG4 takes a bow, then walks away. So ends my tribute to a legend. Well, that was a nice look back at everything I did this year, but there's still quite a bit of time left in the video. What's that for? Well, you see, I realized back in August that I have a tendency to stuff my thumbnails full of as many relevant characters as I can fit. Looking at this tendency, I decided to not change anything and to instead make a game out of it. Guys, gals, NB pals, welcome to the Thumbnail Games! Every single unique character who's appeared on my thumbnails has gotten their own tally of how many appearances they've had, and multiple appearances on the same thumbnail count towards that tally. Whoever has the most appearances is the winner. To get a feel for things, and because I didn't do this last year because I hadn't thought of it yet, let's do a round for my videos from 2024. Geeky gets the first point with the first video, then come the first 8 fighters from Rivals of Ether 2, followed by several members of the SMG4 cast. Meggy didn't get onto this thumbnail, those are the Leggy clones that never appeared again, but Meggy appears as Leggy alongside our first second appearances for the Mario Bros, 4 and 3, Bob, and Puzzles. Orkin gets 2 thumbnails to himself before appearing alongside Fleet, Claire, Maple, and Loxodon. A small group of Ninjago characters appear, and then Uzi, Ed, Sin, and Khan, before Geeky finally gets another appearance. The Rivals 2 roster appears again, but without Maple, and then there's a new Russian Ninjago character, with Lloyd, Aaron, Sora, and Ryu doubled up. Fleet gets 2 more appearances, once with the newcomer Forsborn and once with Loxodon. SMG4, Meggy, Mario, and Puzzles share a much less cluttered thumbnail, and the entire Rivals 1 roster appears together, and don't forget Vince. Geeky appears in Lego form in Lego City Undercover, and then there's a thumbnail with nobody? Lastly, rounding out the year with a highlight reel, we've got an Inception Nightmare. My decision to do something fun with the thumbnail by using all the previous thumbnails is going to inflate scores like crazy, because multiple appearances per thumbnail count. There's technically 5 layers of thumbnail, with the 5th layer being 5 by 3 pixels, and you better believe I'm counting all 5 layers for every appearance that's actually visible on the first layer. 3 for Geeky, 2 for Zetterburn, 4 for Claire and Loxodon, 3 for Raster, 4 for Fleet, 2 for Craig and Maple, 1 for Rano, 3 for Mario, 1 for Luigi, 2 for SMG4, 1 for SMG3, Tari and Boopkins, 2 for Bob, 1 for Psycho, Kaiso, Swag, Chris, Eggdog, Karen, and Melanie, 2 for Mr. Puzzles and Meggy, 3 for Orkane, 1 for Pixel, Skylar, Dares, Pythor, and Nauticon, 1 for Uzi, N, and Sin, 2 for Lloyd and Aaron, 1 for Kai, Nia, Sora, Payu, and Jiro, 2 for Forsberg, and 1 for Malo, Absa, Eliana, Palm, Vince, Edelis, Hodan, and Shovel Knight. Multiply all those by 5 and add them to the scores. Now, let's see the results, a top 5 podium. In 5th place with 13 appearances, it's a 5-way tie between SMG4, Mr. Puzzles, Zetterburn, Craig, and Maple. In 4th place with 18 appearances, a tie between Mario and Raster. In 3rd place with 19 appearances, another tie between Geeky and Orkane. The runner-up with 24 appearances is actually 2 runners-up, Claren and Loxodon. And lastly, our 1st place winner for 2024, with 25 appearances, is just one character, Fleet! Congratulations, Fleet. On account of being my main in Rivals 2, you got into almost all my Rivals 2 thumbnails, and therefore had more chances than most everyone else to inflate your score with a highlight reel thumbnail. Now for the real deal, the thumbnail games for 2025. Geeky and Tari get joined by newcomer Sans for the first video, and they each get double with both New Day Islander and Me forms. Geeky gets another alongside the debut of Marceline. Edelis returns both the game and thumbnails and brings Orby with him. Geeky appears yet again alongside returning N and Lloyd and newcomers Luce and Amity. The SMG4 crew makes a full appearance, minus Melanie and the Mario Bros. Mustache Girl first appears long before Hat Kid, and no, I'm not counting the silhouettes on the Hat and Time logo. I'm not counting these crewmates, they're generic. Geeky gets onto a livestream thumbnail, plus 2 more as the Soul. Those Deltarune stream thumbnails also give double appearances to Chris, Susie, and Ralsei, plus single appearances to a smattering of Deltarune characters. Geeky gets 2 appearances of some stream highlights along with Mario, Bowser, and the Squirrel with a Gun. A few characters get extra appearances for showing up on the thumbnail frame for my first short, including Geeky twice. Some rivals return on stream highlights, and then all the shopkeepers of New Day, plus Jefferson the Land Shark. SMG3 gets a bonus appearance from the short form of Who Broke It. Mustache Girl gets another thumbnail, followed by the main cast from Minecraft movie, plus some of the side characters. The Chicken Jockey, Pink Sheep, and Villager are unique enough in the film to count. Olympia gets 3 appearances on 1 thumbnail alongside Loxodon and Orkane, then some Minecraft movie characters return for the review. The Squirrel appears 3 times, joined by Gordon Freeman and Silver the Hedgehog. Some of the SMG4 crew get joined by some side characters, the debuts of Hal Monitor, Peach, Game Steve, Movie Steve is different, and Sonic. Here Ron gets to hold an emerald sword and a gun, then most of the SMG4 crew appears yet again, a lot of them are in the blurred background. 3 more appearances for the Squirrel, all decked out for pride, then 2 Geekys, 1 old design and 1 redesign. 3 Absas and a group of some of my favorite LEGO Dimensions characters, even Expos in the back. A few more Geekys sneak into the photos for the Kanto tour, plus Tari, Sans, GLaDOS, Tommy Kulata, and Bubby. Yes, they're back there. Chris and Susie return alongside some others from past thumbnails, and the debuts of Hat Kid, Kane, and Stringbean. Galvin debuts, and then some SG4 characters get another appearance, plus the debuts of Mr. Weapons, Tomb, and the Death Cube. Sans and Marceline kissing, Tari in the background, 2 Nitzes, and a Toasty for the end of New Day, then a whopping 4 Lord Vortex in 1 thumbnail. Sans gets 1 all to himself before sharing with tons of other Undertale characters. Another group of LEGO Dimensions characters, then 3 Galvins and a Kohler. Mario and Sonic clad in green, and they bring Kirby, Pac-Man, and Link, plus a sneaky green Steve. Another wide array of SMG4 characters, and how did it take this long for Waluigi to appear? Geeky returns, hunted by Herobrine, a Hell Valley Skytree, and Phil. 2 commentary videos containing the animation's original thumbnails, adding to Geeky's score and anyone who was in the original thumbnails. A brief tangent to give 10 that point, then 2 more commentaries with more doubling up on appearances. SMG4 Tari and Meta Runner Tari contribute 2 points to a single Tari score. SMG4 gets what is most likely his final thumbnail appearance on this channel, and the video you're watching right now gives 1 more to Geeky. Now, for the 2025 results. In 5th place with 8 appearances, it's a 3-way tie between SMG3, Meggy, and newcomer Sans. In 4th place with 9 appearances, it's a him, Mario. In third place with his likely last 11 appearances, it's SMG4, a respectable final placement for the end of an era. In second place with 13 appearances, we have Taru, with just more than double her appearances from last year. And last, but obviously not least, the first place winner for 2025 with a whopping 23 appearances is me, the Geeky Gamer. It's my channel after all. Now, let's total everything together to determine our current overall rankings for the entire channel history so far. Fifth place, a tie between Meggy and Orkane with 20 appearances each. Fourth place, a tie between SMG4 and Claren with 24 appearances each. All of Claren's are from 2024. She got into a lot of thumbnails and a lot of them got quintupled by the highlight reel inception. SMG4 probably won't be on his podium for long, some of his friends get just a few more appearances. Meggy has 20 and Tari has 19. But it's nice for him to get another pretty high rank to see him off. Third place, Fleet and Loxodon with 26 each. Same deal as Claren, though they did get a bit in 2025. Second place, Mario with 27, a third of which being from this year. And in first place, me, again, with 42 total appearances, over half of which are from this year. That's all for this year. See you again next year for another round of the Thumbnail Games! Alright, I think we're done looking back. Time to look forward. What's next on the channel? Well, first, I'm gonna take a well-deserved break. Haven't busted my butt and crunching to get the past few videos done in time. I need a break. Plus, I've got some stuff to prep behind the scenes. You'll see soon enough. As for a few actual video plans, since I've really gotten into Sonic over the past year, I'm planning to do a video about the year-ish I truly became a Sonic fan. But I gotta play Frontiers first. I'll do that during my break. Lorena is coming to Rivals 2, but that update drops on January 6th, during my break, so any video on that is gonna be later or not at all. Here's a big one. On January 13th, early access begins for Hytale. I've been waiting so long for this game, I despaired at the cancellation and rejoiced at the revival, and have already pre-purchased the highest tier. Unfortunately, I won't be able to get a video out for it on the 13th, but I'll try to get one done as soon as possible. That's all I'm willing to share for now. I've got some other big plans, and hopefully I'll be able to share them soon. Happy New Year, everyone! It's been a good year for this channel. Here's hoping 2026 will be just as good, if not better. And you can help by liking, hyping, commenting, subscribing, and maybe even joining memberships. Let's all make next year a great one. I'm the Geeky Gamer. See ya!